on Tuesday, we wanted to make a, let's go back this way. We wanted to make a mobility-based approach to the knee on belly. Okay, we showed you 2 drills. One going over the hip line to get to the other side, one going around the head. And again, we just don't want to be like anchoring into the knee on belly position. And there's a time and place for this to get a reaction. We want this ability to stay on top. We also talked about creating exposure, limb exposure, back exposure. We showed you a way of taking the back. So tonight we're going to look at the two main methods of a knee on belly position. We'll talk about trying to keep the position, which I think is important. No point of you getting into the knee on belly position and then 5-10 seconds later you'll have you in the guard. So and you're not going to get this skill overnight. We'll show you how to control the position with a positional spart, but it'll probably take the whole length of this mesocycle just to have that ability to keep the knee on belly position and playing around with it. So we have 2 types. The first one is more of a defensive. It's called a hybrid knee on belly. So let's just say I was in side control. I'd passed Carl's guard and he moved into like a 100 kilos position where I have a cross face and I'm corralling his hip here. Okay. First thing I'm doing, this is a lot of people miss out this detail. We want to be, if I have good head control on Carl, it's going to be very difficult for him to snag the half guard. So watch my cross face. I'm just going to get 3 fingers underneath Carl's left armpit, and I'm going to withdraw my elbow and start to put a little bit of shoulder pressure on him. Once I'm there, I'm going to slide my knee across his belt line. Okay. My right hand is going to find the outside of his right knee, and I am coming up on my toes. This left leg of mine will be floating. Okay. The other detail is, if we just turn this way, my right foot, and I do go to knee on belly, my shoelaces to the outside of Carl's right hip. So here. My left knee's on the mat, Carl's not carrying my weight. I want to be on my toes, and this foot will be floating, just depending where Carl's moving. I'll release the cross face a little bit. In reality, you'd be making him pull a face, but one of the things Carl's can do from here is bridge into me. Notice the way, take a back a step. When he bridges into me, I'm going to ride that movement. From here, I still have the grip. This is why we want this grip. Because probably Carl, when he gets onto the side, wants to bring his knee inside and put me in the guard. So once I get to here, he's probably going to bring this knee inside and snag me in half guard. It's probably the main escape from the knee on belly, is trying to get the foot, the leg that's across the belly. He'll be trying to get that between his legs. So it makes sense to be controlling this leg with my right hand. So say we're in our position here. I have cross face, 100 kilos position. I'm going to take the time on pulling Carl's shoulder towards me, put a little bit of pressure, and then my hand's going to find the pants and I'm going to move into this hybrid knee on belly. Notice the way my head is just corralling his left shoulder, and then I take that knee off the mat. My right foot is tight to his hip. Okay. If Carl bridges into me, I'm just stepping back. I'll keep my knees off the mat, and then I'll push his leg away from me, and I'll fill that space with my hip. And then I'm back into the position here. This should not feel that it's tiring you out, right? You should be sagging on him like a wet blanket. You should be able to do this without getting tired. So you want to be sagging on them. I can't teach you how to do that. We want to be loose. We don't want to be tight and holding the person. Because if I give him the knee on belly and I'm tight and I'm rigid, I'm light. So if he's pushing on me, I'm going to be moving and I don't feel heavy. So we want to be thinking about sagging on the person. So I'll make that cross face, hands corralling the hip, and then I'll take the time, 2 fingers under the armpit, start to bring his head towards me, a little bit of cross face pressure, hand grabs the outside of the pants, and my shin comes across the belt line. My ear is on his shoulder, and then I actually take my left knee off the mat. I'm on the ball of my left foot. Now at any time, see if the way Carl's put his hand on my knee, this is why I don't think this is just a defensive position. That's what I want. So if his hand is on my knee, I'll release and find this. And this is why the knee on belly is such a great position. Once I have the underhook, we'll be looking at lots of different things that we can do from here. Okay? And that reaction that he will do will just depend on how uncomfortable he feels. If he doesn't feel uncomfortable, he's not going to be pushing on your knee. For the sake of this drill, we are going to be trying to bridge the person off. So from our position, I put on the cross-face pressure, I grab the pants. I'm going to move into the hybrid knee on belly position. Look how pretty I am. The minute Carl bridges, watch when I take my shin off. And I'm here. Okay? My knees are off the mat to make sure that he's carrying my weight. I push his leg straight, and then I put my right hip on Carl's right hip. And now we just move back into the position again. He bridges into me, straighten, fill that space. Sometimes if I feel he's really on his side here, when I push, I'll put my hip on his hip. That flattens him out. Alright, I'll put on the cross-face pressure again, and then I'm back in again. He bridges, push, fill that space, back in again. And at any stage, especially where Carl's left arm is, I'll be taking advantage of that. If I have the underhook, I'm not going to be staying there. So don't think the hybrid position is a completely defensive position. Anytime we see limbs away from his body, we are going to be taking advantage of that. Just look at that one more time. So here, from a side control position, 100 kilos, pull his head towards you, put cross-face pressure on. Right hand finds the pants on the outside of his right leg, the one that's closest to you. I slide into the knee on belly position. My shoelaces are tight to Carl's right hip. My left ear is on his shoulder. And this left leg of mine, this is just floating. Sometimes I might put the knee on the mat when he bridges into me, but when I take it off the mat and I'm on the ball of my left foot, he's carrying my weight. When he bridges into me, I'm not trying to pin him with that. I just go with it. And then I push the leg. If he's on his side, I'll put my hip on his hip. Notice the way Carl's flat on his back. I'll put a little more cross-face pressure on him, and I'm back into the drill again. So that is our hybrid knee on belly. Let's play around with that, guys.